Hey y'all, Taylor Lauren here. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Here on my channel, I talk about beauty pageants, wifehood, and motherhood. So if that's something that interests you, then make sure that you keep watching. Y'all, filming in the bathroom is a thing. It's just convenient for my schedule after B goes down. The lighting is decent. It's quiet while my husband has his chill time. I'm using my chill time to film. So I think it's a thing just until I, get like another ring light or whatever. This is gonna be the situation. So y'all, I am about to like binge film and pump out this wedding planning content for you, the remaining of the wedding planning content that I have. And in today's video, we are going to continue, and I want to discuss with you guys the best wedding planning investments that I made, like what we spent our money on for our wedding that I feel was like the best investment, and then wedding planning mistakes that I made. So if this interests you, then keep watching and let's get on. So as always, I have my list. Now, I'm not saying I'm flawless or anything, but I don't think that I made that many wedding planning mistakes. I was very diligent. I took my time. I did a lot of research. So the only wedding planning mistake that I can think of, well, actually, there's two. The first one is I think we overpaid for engagement photos because we had a engagement photo session before we hired a wedding photographer, and wedding photographers usually include an engagement session in their pricing, just so that they can get to know you and photograph you like before the wedding day, and it gives you more bang for your buck, obviously, if you get engagement photos and day of photos. So definitely overpaid in that area, but I still love both of the photos from my session. But that's something I didn't know, so we ended up really paying for two sessions. Now, the second thing that I think was a mistake, y'all, is I was very anxious when it came to the decor. Like, that was like the most important part for me, was our decor. I had a very specific vision. I wanted classic. I wanted timeless. I didn't want trendy. I wanted simple elegance. And I was very anxious about it, and so I was rushing. And because I was rushing, and didn't take my time in this area, I changed my mind on a lot of things. A lot of the decor I paid for. We provided like our vases, our chargers, our dinnerware. We came out of pocket for all of that instead of having our decorator do it, because it just came out cheaper that way in our situation. So because I changed my mind a lot, I ended up like buying lots of things, returning things, replacing. It was just a lot of runaround in that area. So I wish that I was a little more patient when it came to that. But yeah, y'all, those are like the only two things that I can think of that were like mistakes or that I wasn't diligent with. So let's move on to what I feel like were the best wedding investments, things that we spent money on that I would definitely like spend that money again because it was worth it. So the first thing that I have, flowers. I knew I wanted live flowers. They were expensive, but they were worth it. We had white tulips. If you guys go back and watch our wedding budget breakdown, how much we actually spent on our wedding, I have all the pictures inserted in that video. But I love fresh flowers. We actually used our centerpieces, our floral centerpieces, as party favors, and our guests took them home at the end of the night. So they were definitely like utilized. They didn't go to waste. People took them home as party favors, and I just love flowers, and they came out beautiful. The arrangements were beautiful, so that's something that I feel like was definitely worth the money. I think just live flowers just set the mood. It elevates the look. They smell beautiful. So yeah, that's something that I would definitely like spend money on. And if you're teetering between live flowers or fake flowers, I would definitely recommend getting the real ones. It just, I don't know, live flowers just lift my spirits, and they made me happy, and they really just kind of tied our decor together. So that was the first thing. And the second thing was definitely our photographer. Now that I look back on it, we only did photography and not videography. I wish we would have done both. Our photographer was amazing. I love our wedding photos and our engagement photos, and these are memories that you're going to look back on for years and years and years. And you want it to be beautiful, you want it to be done right, and yeah, I would definitely pay for that time and time again. And it's something that you should definitely invest in. So if you're kind of like teeter tottering between going with the lower end photographer or a higher end photographer, or you know, if you can't justify like forking out the bucks for a wedding photographer, do it because I have our album saved on our phone and we have that album printed out. We still want to get like some of our wedding photos like blown up on canvas to display in our home. But I flip through those pictures all the time, y'all. Like, I go through our wedding album all the time, and it just puts a smile on my face, even just like thinking about it. Because we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary, and it's just something to reflect back on and smile. And you want your pictures to look good so that you can look back at them and think back on them and smile. So, definitely fork out the bucks for a wedding photographer. Great investment. Third thing, the food. Food. You want your food to be good. Our food was our most expensive part of our wedding. It was almost $6,000. And even still today, our friends and our family talk about how good our food was. We had tequila lime chicken and honey garlic salmon. We had some garlic green beans. It was some mashed potatoes in there. We had a house salad. It was some other stuff that I can't remember. We had a 3-tier cake. One of the flavors was key lime, vanilla, and then like something else I don't remember. But if I tasted it today, I know it would still be good. So definitely fork out the bucks for food. And then this is the other thing. Like, some people, their perspective is, oh, you're coming to my wedding. It shouldn't be about you. I shouldn't have to worry about feeding you, yada, 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 yada. But people have to realize that going to a wedding is like an all-day thing. And people get hungry, especially if you have like your out-of-town guests that are coming, you know. And then you have to think about you. Like, even though you probably won't eat on your wedding day, you're still going to be hungry. You're going to want a bite of something. And you want that food to be good. The food is a part of the ambiance. It's a part of the experience. So you want your food to be good for you and for your guests. So yeah, fork out the bucks for the food because the food is important. Try to feed your guests meals if you can, if it's in the budget. Don't just be having like little finger foods or whatever, because the thing about it, especially for Black people, we act better and our mood is lifted when, you know, and not even Black people, you guys. Food is cultural, right? People come together when they eat, when they share a meal. Food, like music and like dance, is a universal language. Your wedding day is no exception to the universal language of food. When people eat and they fellowship, it just automatically, like, when people fellowship through food, it automatically lifts the spirits. So if you want people to have a good time at your wedding, feed them good food. Simple. Simple. Okay. And the final thing that I have for y'all is the decor. Our decor was not that expensive. It was $3,500, I think. Around, yeah, like probably around that amount. And it was beautiful and it set the scene, it set the ambiance, especially if you have kind of like a blank canvas venue like we had. We had just like an open concept blank canvas banquet hall, and we had the freedom to dress it up or dress it down the way we wanted to. So especially if you're working with like a blank canvas venue, I would say fork out the bucks for the decor because it's really going to set the ambiance and it's really fun to be able to decorate a space in that way and have it match the vision that you've had in your head since you were a little girl about what your wedding day would look like. So fork out the bucks for the ambiance. It just sets the mood and it really just takes you and your guests to a whole nother place. It gets you in kind of just this ethereal romantic mood, and it just makes your wedding day all the more magical. So those are the things that I would say definitely were worth the investment. Definitely things that I would have my parents pay for time and time again. And looking back on my wedding day, outside of like marrying the love of my life, outside of marrying my husband and celebrating our union, when I think about the things that made our wedding day great, those are the things that come to mind. Our flowers, our decor, our photographer, our food. Those are kind of the key things that brought the whole vision together and that set the ambiance of a beautiful, magical, romantic wedding day. So y'all, I hope these things were helpful if you're trying to decide where the bulk of your wedding budget should go to. I hope this was helpful in kind of helping you decide if you're kind of on the fence about some things. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all of the other videos that I have in the wedding playlist. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.